Hello, I'm April Brown with Zelken Financial Services, and I'm back with the tip, today's illuminated point. So today, I decided to do something different. As you see here, my lovely assistant, Sheikah. So Sheikah and I are going to have kind of like a conversation about budget. So I've been on this kind of thing with budget. So I call it the B word. Budget that nobody wants to talk about. It's the ugly. It's not the ugly word, but it's the the dirty word. The dirty word. The dirty B word.
Silly.
So you might see me look down. Yes, I am, because I'm asking questions and I wrote them down. I'm perimenopausal, people. Brain fog.
We're in this together.
All right. So, those of you who know Sheikah from, a couple of other videos that we've done, Sheikah, introduce yourself.
Well, I am LaShica. You guys are aware that I work for the beautiful April Brown, who I love. And also, I am a business owner too as well. I do hair, and I've been doing hair for some time now. So, I'm on both sides of the cord. So, hopefully one day I'll be retiring soon. Hint, hint.
Dot. Wink.
But yes,
okay.
Yes.
All right then. Well, Miss Sheikah, we're gonna get this party started.
Let's do it.
I got 4 questions,
Ooh.
and so the questions are really around budget, and so I wanted to get another perspective because I know how I feel about it. So
yeah,
the first question is, why is a budget important to you?
Well, a budget is important because it serves as like a financial roadmap. It kind of gives me an idea of what I'm doing with my money, which is important because we use money every day.
Every day.
So for personal and for business.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. All right.
sure.
All right. And so how has it helped you personally and with your business, like having a budget?
Well, it helps me to be able to see where my money is going to and to control it. Sometimes I do really good, and sometimes I don't do really good. It just kind of depends. So it kind of gives me that full financial outline of, this is where I am, this is where I don't need to be, and this is where I'm going if I don't make a better choice.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does. It totally does.
It's the ups and downs, the roller coaster of being a business owner.
Yes.
And we know this.
Yes. I mean, and it just, based off your personal and your business.
Yeah.
And not, making sure those 2 things, they're intertwined in some kind of way. I mean, you just got to pay attention to that. But yeah, I'm here to tell you, budgeting, man, it took me forever to get it.
It's hard. It's really hard because you have to find like a method that works for you. And plus, if you're a business owner, you have your business budget, but then you have your personal budget.
Right.
And keeping those 2 separate.
Right. Well, it reminds me of a conversation that I had with a former coworker of mine 2 days ago, and she was talking about young folk, and they were like, "Well, why should I put into a qualified plan, a 401k?" And, just kind of like all over the map on that. She was like, first of all, do you have a budget? And they were like, what? And she was like, yeah, I mean, a budget helps you determine what you can and cannot do.
Exactly.
And if you've got a goal in mind that you want to get to, then you use a budget to do that.
Exactly.
So, but she was just like, child. I was like, yeah, I know.
They don't. They really don't.
It's just, and so it's that conversation.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is this. People, you know what you know. And you know what you don't know. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Right.
So if it's not a conversation that takes place in your own household, where you grew up at, around money and centered around money, then you just don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. And that is so true, because I'm fortunate that my mom and dad were business owners. So growing up, like, they hired me at the age of 14. And when they hired me, I had to get like my bank account, my checking, but they showed me how to save. So I start putting money in my savings then.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to keep that going. You guys know I have 3 children, so I really try to. All of my kids have different personalities, so all of them spend money differently.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of instilling that early,
right,
and just trying to teach them. But then, like you said, you have some young people, they don't have a clue.
Right.
That's why we have to help them.
All right, so this rolls into question number 3.
Okay.
How did you get started?
Well, like I was saying, my parents, at 14, I opened up a bank account with American Airlines, and my parents paid me weekly. So what they did was we did percentages. And so I always usually would take like 20% of what my paycheck was, and I put it in my savings.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then it was like, 10% went to like charity or giving back. And then the rest went to me. But at that age, I spent money on, stupid stuff.
Well, 14.
Sneakers, nails, But I bought my first car when I was 17 years old, cash.
Well, this is the thing. You said something very interesting that I want to kind of key into.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you took a portion of your money and you put it towards charity.
Yep.
So philanthropic. That's what you were being. And I think that is a lost art. I don't know if people readily set aside money to
give back. Yeah.
No. I don't know if they do.
Not as much now as it used to. I don't know if it's like a generational thing. I don't want to set that stigma, but I don't know, but you don't really hear too many people that say that. So you're right. That's true.
I mean, and when you talk about just being philanthropic and just giving back, part of that, for those of you that might think this is woo-woo, there are 11 universal laws. Now, they do exist.
Yep.
My mother was a firm believer in this. And one of them is the law of reciprocity.
That's right.
So if you give, and you give without thinking that you're going to get back because you want to genuinely give, you get back.
That's right.
And you get back tenfold.
Exactly.
There is and they've actually proven this. They did this test where they put let's say they put 20 people in a room.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave everybody like the same amount of money, and they said, and they timed it, and they were like, give all your money away. And consistently, there was this one guy who was the one who ended up with all the money all the time.
Wow.
And they were like, wait, what's happening? And they kept running the test, and they ran the test with just different people, but he was the same person that kept getting the money all the time. And I think the way it read was like when they asked people, why did you think he ended up with all the money?
Right.
They were just like, well, just in conversating with him, he was a generous person. He was willing to give his time, his energy, his money, his effort towards whatever it is that, that you were trying to do, that he wanted to support you in. Right. And so, it exists.
Right. Right.
But when you give not to receive something back. You give because you want to. And I think that's, the way of just saying to, the powers that be, hey, listen, I want to give because I can. And I feel like this is something that I want to do. So I think that's really cool. I like that. I think that's really cool.
I think we need to get back into doing that more, too. I think it'll be different.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is there are in this day and age, like there are so many people, like if you're an alumni, like I'm an alumni, and they're always like, hey, can you give to the school? Can you give? And if it's not something that you actively work towards and actively do.
That is true, yeah.
Then it's kind of like, maybe not. And so I think, being philanthropic is something that it's like a muscle. You got to exercise that damn thing.
Right.
You really
Because if
do.
not, it gets lazy and it's not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. It'll be kind of passive. Not that you mean to be, but like you said, if you don't exercise, it's just,
I'll get back to it. Yeah, I'll get back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because their thing is like, even if you get $10 a month, shit, it all adds up.
What you talking about?
And so if you get like 1,000 people to get $10 a month,
right,
that shit actually adds up.
And it helps.
And it helps.
It does. It's
so,
true.
All right.
It's true. I love that. I love
the
that.
last question I'm going to ask you is, what advice do you have for other folks in reference to budgeting and just, whatever?
Gotcha. Well, I know number one, something that is been wonderful is if with your family, whoever contributes in the household, have a monthly meeting with them.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Okay.
Because you need to be, it's good to be transparent with your budget. This is personal, but it's just, it makes it easier just to be able to sit down and say, okay, this is what the electric bill is. This is what the mortgage is. This is what, so on, so on. Okay, who has this? Like, for example, Shaylin, she was like, my battery's acting up. I need to get a battery. It's going to cost me $300. I'm not going to be able to pay this amount this month. So having that conversation and being open and transparent, we're all like, okay, we got you. So Jersey might say, okay, well, I've got $30. Okay, I've got $50. Because then at the end of the day, all our bills are paid and we all are here to help. So definitely being a contributor, having those monthly conversations. That's number one. Okay. When you're in a family, it doesn't matter. That's number one. Number two, one thing that's been really helpful is having a business notebook and having a personal notebook.
What does that mean?
Meaning, I write down for business everything, whether it's marketing, whether it's I need to get hair products, I need to get combs, this is what I need Overplex, whatever it is, and writing it down what I need on a monthly basis.
Okay.
And personal doing the same thing. And then that personal, the one for the household, is open for everybody to see. Mm-hmm. And to be able to check that out. Because you want to be able to separate the two.
Right.
It helps so you can be able to see it and not keep it in your head.
Right. Okay.
Because there's something to get forgotten. And I think number three, above all, always round up. Like if there's a bill that's $85, round it up to $86, because at the end of the month you'll have extra money, and then take yourself out to eat and buy yourself something special. That's what I do. I love it, because then it's like when you rounding it up at the end of the month, you'll look and say, wait a minute, I've got extra money. Then just go out to dinner, or either you can roll it over to the next month, mm-hmm. or either go to, I don't know, TJ Maxx to get you a good smell good candle. Whatever brings you joy. Okay. Because then that way you're budgeting, but you're budgeting towards something. It's not so, I don't have nothing, I can't do this.
So you're saying if your bill is $85, you put $86 in, mm-hmm. and as the month kicks in, you look up and you might have like maybe $50 extra.
Exactly.
In the account that you didn't necessarily, you plan for it, but you didn't plan for it.
Exactly.
Okay, and then you just kind of let it keep rolling.
And just let it keep rolling over. And if you could take that and go on vacation or take a beach day or something for you.
Okay.
Then it's like your budgeting is not so harsh.
Right. And so part of that is it's just providing that extra cushion in the account for something that you didn't anticipate. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So instead of giving $1, you might want to get $5 because that adds up.
That adds up even faster, but I have a whole lot of people in my household, so that extra $25 is like $5 million for me. If not, you'll be like my shirt says, straight out of money.
And there you go, folks.
There you go.
All right, well, Miss Shika, thank you so very much for talking to me today.
Thank you.
And so I am April Brown with Zelken Financial Services, LLC. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until the next time, I hope you get something out of this. Thank you and have a great day.